The lady with me needs no introduction, so I won't bother except to tell you, of course, it's Carol Lawrence, who will be opening Tuesday at the Center for Performing Arts in Funny Girl.
Right, yes.
Which is the story of Fanny Brice.
Absolutely.
Now, who was Fanny Brice? I know, but...
I know a lot of, I'm glad you asked that, Joe, because a lot of very young people have no connection with her career unless they saw the movie
They
Funny
think it's
Girl.
Barbra Streisand.
Exactly. And Fanny Brice was not really, I feel, properly portrayed. I did an awful lot of research into her life. Fanny Brice was a Ziegfeld star, one of the highest paid headliners of her time. She was a star over a period of maybe 10 years in the Follies. That's a long time on Broadway. Toured the country, was in vaudeville before that, and then went into movies at MGM. She had a contract. She made several movies there, all of which I had run.
Really?
So that I could see her in action. And she was a magnificent person on the stage. Everybody sort of faded into the woodwork when she walked on. But she was a
major personality in America.
Gigantic star.
I mean,
household term.
Yeah.
She was, within her period, the greatest star of her time. And even later became a radio star as Baby Snooks.
Then I think that's where then more people begin to know. But then it's an incredible person to have so many different careers like that.
She was an ingenious person. I fell in love with the lady, doing a lot of research on her. I read everything I could find. I interviewed people who worked with her, and I found that she was a very vulnerable, gigantically funny clown. And strangely enough, although people sort of imaged or pigeonholed me after West Side Story as a tragic heroine, because I had long black hair and I cry easily. I'm basically a clown, always have been all my life, so I find tremendous joy in playing Fanny Brice.
Well, I've heard some people say, and I think it's really silly, that, but it is said that you're too beautiful to play Fanny Brice. That seems goofy.
That's a fallacy, too, because when you look into pictures of Fanny as a young girl, and even later on, she was a very classic lady, very statuesque, tall and thin, at a time when you should be curvaceous and hourglass-like. So she didn't fit into a chorus line. And because of that, strangely enough, she capitalized on that unique quality and became a comedienne, perhaps the greatest of her time.
Well, now, you're a great star in show business today in this country. You're perhaps a Fanny Brice. How do you describe yourself? Are you a singer, a dancer, an actress? What are you?
I am a musical comedy performer, something that is uniquely American. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. A singer, dancer, actress, actor is what we have developed. Our claim to an art form that is uniquely American is the musical comedy, and it's something I always wanted to do from the time I can remember. And I feel very lucky, because a lot of kids don't grow up knowing where they want to go.
Well, I was reading your biography, and I was thinking you are lucky, because you probably know dozens of women who started with you and are still in a chorus line somewhere and didn't get picked out to be the star in West Side Story.
Oh, I was very lucky. I really was.
I'm not saying you aren't talented and you didn't deserve it, but...
There are many, many talented people that you just never see.
That's true.
That's timing and luck and the right vehicle. You know, West Side Story was a fantastic show dealing with a very pertinent subject. It was very controversial. We had giants creating it, Leonard Bernstein, Jerome Robbins, dealing with Shakespeare. I was very lucky, certainly. But you had always wanted to be a dancer. You were telling me as a little girl you were taking dancing lessons. From the time I can walk, they tell me if there was music playing, I was dancing. I don't remember that, but it's a good... I still have a very difficult time if there's music playing, giving you my total attention, because a part of me is still moving.
I see you're wearing dancing shoes now.
Yes, they're my rehearsal shoes, because they're so comfortable.
Yeah, so that you must, it's truly a part of your life.
Yes, it is, yes.
Was it ever odious to you? Did you hate it to rehearse? And,
that sounds terrible to say, but I'm a person that enjoys performing. I have always loved to dance. My mother took me to the dance studio like every little girl was taken to the local studio, and I found complete freedom. I found a platform upon which I could make people laugh. I was always the kid that did tumbling and had to do pratfalls. I add a whole series of pratfalls to the show, to Funny Girl. And you know what a pratfall is? It's when you just go splat, right? And when she puts on a headdress, you know, just backstage, in the script, it has her stagger into the wings because they weigh a ton, you know. They showgirls walk like that because they're balancing that. And I said, what a wonderful gimmick you're throwing away. If you put it on and the whole thing goes, and you can't get up.
Right.
And the director said, you think that's funny? I said, let me try it.
Sounds
Opening
funny,
night,
well.
I tried it. As long as the audience laughed, I kept falling. Until by the end of the week, I had bursitis of 2 shoulders, an elbow, and more bruises than the football team, right? So I am now padded. I have elbow pads, knee pads, and a whole hockey thing. Yeah, well, but I can fall to my heart's content now.
Kind of hurts your figure, but...
I still get bruised.
Well, now, being on tour, is that a different world than being on Broadway?
Oh, is it ever,
I mean, obviously the traveling and all that, but beyond that, the people and the dynamics.
It's a wonderful way of staying in touch with the American public. There's something wonderful about seeing a person in the flesh, of signing the autographs afterwards, shaking hands, and live theater cannot be replaced by the tube or the films or anything. I think that is the most exciting way of performing. It's the way I enjoy most. And so to keep my craft alive, I need to tour. I need to do this summer thing because we have no rep theaters. Right. We have no place where I can do Chekhov and Ibsen and all those things. Right. And I really would rather be in musical theater. I wish there were more new products coming from Broadway. I think that's a sadness that I hope can be remedied. I don't know when.
Well, at any rate, Carol Lawrence will be starting Tuesday at the Miami Beach Center for Performing Arts in Funny Girl, and you too can see her in the flesh. And
yes.
we thank you for being with us on Montage.
Thank you, Joe. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, and we'll be right back.